Venerable Ananda said to the Buddha, "Lord, this is half of the holy life: spiritual friendship, spiritual companionship, and spiritual intimacy." "Don't say that, Ananda," the Buddha replied. "Don't say that. Spiritual friendship, spiritual companionship, and spiritual intimacy is actually the whole of the holy life." It's from the Upada Sutta. What is a Dhamma circle? It's a combination of a relational meditation practice known as circling with the teachings of the Buddha. So it's a practice to support and complement the rest of one's practice in terms of the Eightfold Noble Path and the teachings of the Buddha, such as the training in morality, training in concentration, meditation, and the development of wisdom. It's a practice, so it's best to be experienced directly. So this will just be a very brief overview, and then I hope to create some other videos to give some more explanations, but most of all, I hope that you will be practicing with me, and that's the whole point of making this video. I assume that if you're watching this, you either know something about circling already, or you know something about the Dhamma, or both. So this is a way to deepen your practice and support your practice where we can support each other, and me too. In fact, that's why I wanted to create this, was mostly just to support my own practice, because I know how valuable it is for me to have a community, to have the spiritual friendships and companionship and people to practice with. So here's a definition. Dhamma circles: a way of developing and supporting one's Dhamma practice within relationship and community through direct present moment experience. So what is circling? Some of you watching this may not have heard of that before. It's a broad term. It's often referred to as a relational meditation or an intersubjective meditation. And just like meditation with the eyes closed has many different contexts, there's there's meditation for reducing stress, meditation for healing sickness, or visualizing, calming the mind, and then there's meditation for insight, for liberation, waking up, which would be more along the Buddhist path. So there's different contexts for meditation, and similarly there's lots of different contexts and different styles of circling. So literally the word circle refers to a circle of people, a group of people practicing together, paying attention to the present moment. That's a very simple definition. The context in this case, like I said before, is the Dhamma, the Eightfold Path, and for each of us to awaken on our own path. So here are some definitions of circling, just to give you an idea if you have not heard these before, if you've practiced it. If you haven't practiced, even if you have practiced, this could be useful. So this is from the Integral Center. Circling, also known as intersubjective meditation, is an organic, in-the-moment, interpersonal process that's equal parts art form, meditation, and group conversation. They go on to say, it is paying exquisite attention to what it's like to be with each other, sharing and exploring any patterns we co-discover in a way that encourages growth towards more of what we want, while totally honoring each other exactly as we are. This definition's from Circling Europe. Circling is a relational technology It is a practice based on developing a meditative awareness and authenticity in connection. This is one I found online. Jason Bascal, he's a meditation instructor, says, circling is a relating practice where a group of people come together and focus their attention on what is like being with each other in the present moment. It is also known as intersubjective meditation. The intersubjectivity of the practice comes from the act of more than one conscious mind becoming aware of shared reality in relationship. So that's just some definitions. And like I said before, it's really something that should be practiced to be fully known. So I invite you, if you haven't already, join our Facebook group and come practice. Or if you're watching this and you're already part of the group, I look forward to practicing with you soon. So what is Dhamma then? If you're not familiar with that term, it is a Pali term. Also in the Sanskrit, Dharma is sometimes more familiar to people. It's a word with many different meanings, which I'll get into in a second. But one of the meanings is the teachings of the Buddha, or the path, and also the fruit of the path, the goal. It actually is the path and it is the goal at the same time. And so I wanted to read a quote just to give a sense of what that goal is, because I find this a little bit sort of humbling and a good reminder of what we're doing. So this is from the Satipatthana Sutta, and the Buddha is referring to Satipatthana, which has a lot of translations. For now, I'll just say the establishment of awareness, which is what we do when we circle, is we establish awareness in the present moment. We establish awareness in relationship, establish awareness in community. So the Buddha says, this is the only way. And some people may get caught on the only way. Not that he's saying my way is the only way, but he's saying establishing awareness is the only way. So establishing awareness is the only way for the purification of beings, for the overcoming of sorrow and lamentation, for the destruction of suffering and grief, for the reaching of the right path, for the attainment of Nibbana. So I'm just taking that in for a second. So, like I said, there may be many contexts for circling, and the idea for a Dhamma circle is really the establishing awareness for this sort of ultimate goal, if you could say that. Or if you don't like a goal-oriented approach, that's fine too, but it's really for purification, for overcoming suffering at the deepest level. So this is a deep and long traveled path. It's a tradition dating back thousands of years. Many people have come before me, greater people than me have come, and amazing meditators and teachers. So I bring this to you with some humility as a Dhamma server, not as a teacher expounding on the truth, but more like a server in a restaurant bringing you a delicious meal of Dhamma, a delicious meal of wisdom that I've found and practiced and enjoyed in my own life. So, and hopefully you do too. So some quick definitions of Dhamma. Like I said, the teachings, it could be any teaching, but in this case, when it's capitalized, it's usually the Buddha's teaching, the Eightfold Path, which we'll get into at some point, an event, a phenomenon, a natural condition, nature itself, truth, the truth of nature, natural law, wisdom. Sometimes it refers to Nibbana, or the realization of the path. Also, this is a definition I found online: principles of behavior that human beings ought to follow so as to fit in with the right natural order of things, or qualities of mind that humans should develop so as to realize the inherent quality of the mind in and of itself. That's what we're practicing here. It's said there are 6 qualities of Dhamma, which I'll just quickly mention. The Dhamma is not a speculative philosophy. The Dhamma is testable by practice and known by direct experience. The Dhamma is able to bestow results here and now. The Dhamma welcomes all beings. That's you out there. The Dhamma welcomes you to put it to the test and to experience it for yourself. So that's covering a lot already. It's not a speculative philosophy. This isn't me telling you what to do. This is an opportunity, an invitation to come and practice, put it to the test, and experience it. Number 5, the Dhamma is capable of being entered upon, and therefore it is worthy to be followed as part of one's life. And that's really why I put this group together, was companions in the holy life, companions, people who feel like this path is something that pervades their entire life and something to follow and to practice as they continue through life. Finally, directly experienceable by the wise. So, without getting too deep into the Eightfold Path, there are some basic foundations of practice. So the basic foundations, first of all, a foundation in ethical conduct, virtue, and for that, what we practice is the 5 precepts, and this is basic Buddhism. A vow not to kill, a vow not to steal, a vow not to engage in sexual misconduct, a vow not to tell lies, and a vow not to take any kind of intoxicants. So that's the beginning of the path, and then on top of that is the mental training, the meditation. And so I want it to be clear that Dhamma circles, this idea is not meant to be a path in itself, but a complement to a daily practice, a meditation practice. So I encourage everyone to have their own daily meditation practice, individual, solo, time alone, eyes closed, sitting on the cushion. Any length of time is valuable. Any time meditating is time well spent. So the 5 precepts and a daily meditation practice are a foundation from which we can get together in relationship and begin to explore relating and the present moment and present moment awareness. One more quote from the Buddha. This is from the Iti Vuttaka. With regard to external factors, I don't envision any other single factor like admirable friendship. I don't envision any other single factor as doing so much for a meditator in training who has not attained the heart's goal, but remains intent on the unsurpassed safety from bondage. And another famous quote that many of you may have heard from Thich Nhat Hanh. I don't know if you believe this or not, but this is what Thich Nhat Hanh says. He says, it's probable that the next Buddha will not take the form of an individual. The next Buddha may take the form of a community practicing understanding, loving kindness, and a community practicing mindful living. That's Thich Nhat Hanh. So, that's just an overview. I hope to make some more videos. I think that'll make it easier for me to explain what I have in mind with this practice. So I encourage you to subscribe to this video, or push all the fun buttons at the bottom, like, subscribe, share.
And then if you're seeing this for the first time and you haven't joined our Facebook group and our practice group, then go ahead and join the Facebook group Dhamma Circles. There's more information about the practice sessions, and you can join in discussion there as well. Thank you for joining me. This is beautiful Aberdeen, Washington, right here. I'll give you a look real quick. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.